Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is episode 144 of the Blrd podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner.
Hello.
Dark Side.
I mean, hello.
Oh, Dark Side. There you go. I mean, you made the same sound as the Ed Underground. Ed. Hello, Ed. Are you there? Ed. Oh, I guess he's not here either. And myself, Creamcast, Bebe, main character.
Main character.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just triggered. Y'all just salty. And also Bandito Mac, unfortunately, cannot be with us today. He has some prior engagements and he can't make it.
Rest in peace.
So rest in peace to Bandito Mac.
Yeah.
You know, we'll hold you up in our
See you
prayers.
at the crossroads.
Exactly.
See you at the crossroads. What was the uncle's name? The one that fucking died. Remember? Did you guys remember the music video?
Off the Bone Thugs and Harmony one?
Yeah, it was fucking creepy because they showed that it basically looks like Blade, but it's Death. He comes up to the uncle. There's a part in the lyric about some uncle. He touches him on the head, and the fuking uncle dies just by touching him.
Oh yeah, because he was supposed to be deaf. Yeah, he was supposed to be deaf coming for all the people. See, you almost got me there for a second because you were like, "Yeah, they see the uncle touched him," and I was like, "Whoa, you about to go there?" But
oh no.
Okay, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I remember that video. That's all. I mean, that's old school. So for our younger listeners and the Ed Underground, yeah, that's a Bone Thugs and Harmony Crossroads music video. I mean, shit, that's like what, 90s? Man,
yeah, a lot of you guys were swimming back then.
Yeah, still swimming. So, but no, unfortunately, like I said, Bandito Mac is not going to be with us tonight, and the Ed Underground will be missing as well. That's no surprise there. He is just the special guest. So I mean, sometimes he has responsibilities. So unfortunately, he won't be able to make it. But we are here to entertain you guys on tonight. And for our main topic, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit excited for this. It was Venom, The Last Dance, the third Venom movie of the Sony Marvel universe. And wow, what a movie that is, and what it was. I'm assuming we all watched it, right?
Yes, sir.
Of course.
Yeah, okay,
yes,
of course. Yeah, this is for like our Halloween episode. I mean, we're not as festive as we have been in previous years with costumes and everything else, but we did watch this movie, which was I'm not gonna lie, a bit of a disappointment. I watched it on Tuesday. Mainly because I refuse to pay actual money, you know, outside of the $5 that my theater runs on Tuesdays.
Why is that? Why wouldn't you give this movie the respect it deserved?
Well, the thing is that
what has been set up in your mind to downgrade it like that? I'm just curious.
I mean, it's we've come off with such hits as the Mighty Morphin Morbin Rangers. We came off of what was the other one? Oh, Madam Web, which is probably literally I'm very forgiving for a lot of movies. It's the worst movie I think made of all time. I have
worse than Joker Full Ado.
Fully Ado? Yeah, absolutely. I would watch Joker Fully Ado.
I disagree, sir.
Yeah, I think you don't remember
Joker 2 Full the worst thing I've seen this year.
No, I don't think you remember the travesty that was Madam Web.
I remember how bad it was. I didn't have high expectations for it. Neither did I have for Joker, and holy moly.
You had a
Dark
bad
Side.
guy. No, do you not remember the bad guy in Madam Web who obviously all his speaking lines got redubbed over?
Hell yeah.
I mean, do you not remember with a little bit
asking
I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It's like a black healing Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you remember with a little bit of.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen a black Spider-Man. All right.
Oh,
I've never seen Spider-Man in a black costume.
You never seen
It's never happened.
You never seen Spider-Man in blackface?
First time I see it.
Sure. I mean,
I was more referring to like Venom than anything else. But,
I know
yeah.
what you were. I just had to take it there. Yeah, you don't remember
Nice.
with a little bit of if you have a little bit of responsibility, you might have a little bit of work and maybe some power. Or how did it go? It was something stupid like that. And whoever decided to write that,
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad. Look, it was bad. I'm not gonna lie, it was bad. But Joker was just on another level.
I mean, sure. I mean, if you want to say that, I really disagree with that.
Or debating which one's the worst.
Yeah, like I mean, but I mean, all of the movies that we've seen, like this is the kind of thing with like.
Well, we can agree these movies are like the bottom of the bucket. Both of these movies.
Which one, Madam Web and Joker?
Joker.
Yeah,
no.
Funny. It's funny because, like, I think today, Quentin Tarantino, I don't know if he's trolling the internet, but he had a interview with, I think, Variety, and he said that like Amy praised Joker, and there's a lot of people who really like Joker too, and I think it's because it is counter to all the like comic book multiverse, the franchise nature of current films. You know what I mean? It kind of like is counter to all that, so they're kind of like championing it a little bit. So I mean, if I'm coming down on this hot debate between you two, I would probably say that Madam Web is worse. Just because Madam Web doesn't offer anything. It offers nothing.
It offered the Spider Kids at the end.
Yeah.
Spider Kids?
Yeah, remember it was like
I tried to block a lot of it from my memories.
Were they? And she was gonna be like the manor lady, the mistress. I don't know what the hell she was gonna be. That was gonna like raise this new spider younglings or whatever. Like I think Spider Women or something.
Yeah, the little
the Spider Women. Yeah. She was the Madam Web. All right, why are we like? I'm getting uncomfortable and angry thinking because you're causing me to think about.
They are characters.
Okay, look, listen. You guys know I'm no fan of Joker, the first movie. I have not liked it, and Joker 2, I could smell the pretentious on it 2 years ago.
Yes.
So this was not a shocker to me. I dislike both movies, but I'm just saying, I think Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor, and I think that I mean, at least the performances were interesting. Joaquin Phoenix was interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can't really.
Yeah.
Both of the movies I've stricken from my mind. I don't know what to say, but I think one is more offensive than the other. Madam Web is just like, I'm angry that I wasted 2 hours possibly of my life. I'll never get back. I'm very angry about it. Joker 2, you know what? Whatever. I did it for the podcast. I can say that. But Madam Web, fuck the podcast. All right? Fuck you guys. And it's probably me. I was the one
who
watching
Joker 2
is
not the same.
Fuck you.
To be fair, to be fair, I really believe that you're the one that actually recommended Madam Web to us. So
hey, you know what? It was timely. It was something we should have talked about. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Those aren't the things we need to talk about, the bad and the good.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's talk. Okay,
anyways, let's talk about this. Yeah.
Okay. We talked about the bad. That's bottom of the barrel. Let's talk about something that's maybe it's not the cream of the crop. It's definitely settling down in the middle for me.
Very curious where you are.
The Cola of soft drinks.
Yeah. It's not RC Cola good. Like RC Cola is king.
Don't do that. RC
Cola. No, RC Cola is delicious. But I'm talking in the hierarchy.
Hierarchy?
No, fuck that. Fuck that.
You don't recognize the hierarchy is Coke, Pepsi, RC.
No. Pepsi. People prefer Pepsi. That is a fact.
Exactly.
That is a fact. People. No. Pepsi. People prefer Pepsi. Coca-Cola has a better marketing game, and they were able to get ahead of Pepsi by going to all these like retailers and so forth and pushing their product on them. While people prefer Pepsi, Coke became synonymous with like going out to eat and so forth. Like no one says, "Hey, do y'all got Pepsis here?" No, people say, "Hey, what y'all got? Y'all got
We'll take a
Cokes?"
Coke. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take a Coke.
So
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they
I
had
don't
a
know.
better marketing.
Whatever that is, call it whatever you want. In my mind,
I
the
mean,
hierarchy
taste
is
wise, I'll
simple.
be honest.
Is-
RC is the king.
RC is
Yeah,
king.
but
Taste wise.
Well, because they had to add so much sugar.
I'm talking like
to,
hierarchy in regards to like you said, just like how I guess popular would be the word, or recognizable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, RC Cola is king.
You know how fucked up. You can tell how fucked up this movie is going to be because we're debating the metaphor for what Coke, which soft drink this movie falls in, and we have 3 wild opinions. I'm really excited for this. But anyways,
this drink is more for me like a mellow yellow, right? I ain't never seen anybody in the party talking about, hey man, who got that mellow yellow? No,
the Sierra Mist to me, you know me. Be honest with you, it's Sierra Mist for sure.
Yeah,
it's more of a Mountain Dew to me.
Mountain Dew. Ooh, I was like, that's actually pretty high up there, sir.
Yeah,
like,
Mountain Dew.
No, Mountain Dew would be like Morbius. Morbius would be the Mountain Dew.
That's still pretty high though. That's like Baja Blast.
What is your soft drink scales off the
and Baja Mountain Dew
up there?
Mountain Dew.
Baja Blast is the superior.
No. Baja Blast is something else.
But that's Mountain Dew.
Like Mountain Dew.
It's part of Mountain Dew, though.
It is part of Mountain Dew, but just Mountain Dew itself.
Dude, this Venom review wild though.
Yeah, it is wild because.
And I want to talk about soft drinks though.
Yeah, right. I really want to argue about soft drinks right now.
This is a pretty good debate. I was like, all right, fuck it. This is gonna be a soft drink show.
Could we all agree though? Straight up, Baja Blast is the best Mountain Dew.
Yes, hands down.
Okay,
All
right.
Dude, it's the only thing that really pairs well with fucking Taco Bell.
It really does.
It does. It does. It does. Okay.
I can't deny that. So I mean, okay. So we settled that to be debate. We can move on.
I got it. Oh, stop. I got it. This could put it to rest. Venom is the Faygo of this stuff we're talking.
Sure.
Can we all agree there?
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Faygo, Moon Mist? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on.
Yes.
Thank you.
So for me, Venom, coming into Venom, right? I usually, like, for movies like this, I usually call people, usually my brother-in-law, or I talk to my wife, and this is who I go see movies with often. And I talk to them maybe a day or two in advance and be like, hey, what are our plans? Do we need to get tickets now? Because 5 o'clock, the $5 showings, usually especially for really good movies, they sell out. They can sell out because everybody's going to try to get a deal. Instead of paying like $18 for a movie ticket, $5 perfect. So my brother-in-law calls me at like 1 in the afternoon, and he's like, hey, and there's no excitement in his voice. He's like, hey, are we gonna go see Venom? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, like, let's go see it. And he's like, he almost like he has this like deep sigh, like, oh fuck, okay. And then we once we kind of regrouped our like our energy, we're like, all right, let's go see it. He looked on the website and the theater was wide open. He was like, yeah, he's like, there's nobody seeing this movie right now. Now, for me, over the weekend, I was really not pushed one way or the other on like how ticket sales were doing for Venom. I really personally didn't care. So I really didn't watch any of this stuff and really wasn't paying attention to how well Venom was doing out here in the streets. But yeah, I was quite surprised that, a Marvel movie, Venom, was doing so poorly. But so when we went to the movie theater, sure enough, there was not that many people. I would say maybe in our area, there were maybe 5 other groups of people that want to go see the movie. And we went at a relatively decent time. The movie was at 5 o'clock. So this was a decent time for people to see the movie. But yeah, it was relatively empty. And even when we got out, there was really nobody in the movie theater going to see this movie. So it was really weird to see the reaction to Venom. This is supposed to be the finale, the trilogy with the big bad guy, Noel, of one of the most important characters of the Venom storyline. No one cared. I was very shocked by that. But then after I watched the movie, I kind of realized why no one cared about it. I think we're going through a weird era of comic book fatigue. I think it's here, guys. I think it's here. I think it's settled in. If your franchise is not spectacular from the onset and it doesn't grab people's attention, People are just not going to go see it. People are willing to wait now to go see the movie.
I will reserve my judgment till Craven comes out to make that determination.
And that's the funny thing. People were saying Craven. I'm waiting for Craven. Craven's the last bastion of hope.
Wait. You heard someone say, I quote, "I'm waiting for Craven"?
Yeah, because I said the same thing. I'm like, this seems like the downfall. This is
They're
complete
craving
downfall
for Craven.
Yeah, they actually said what they said specifically, and I quote, "I'm waiting." I had told them, I was like, yeah, this is probably the downfall of Sony Marvel movies. I don't think we're gonna get much more after this. And said individual said, "I'm going to withhold my judgment. I'm holding out hope for Craven." And I was like, what? Like, did you not see the trailers for Craven? It feels just like Venom. It has the exact same feel. It doesn't. There's no difference in between these movies. So if you close your eyes and you heard both of these movies going on, you wouldn't know. You couldn't be able to like, oh man, that's Venom. This is outside of maybe voices of Venom. You couldn't tell what was going on. It's the same. It's the same exact feel. So I'm very surprised that there are people who are actually holding out hope for Craven. And now that you said it, it kind of reaffirmed that people are very delusional. I think there's definitely a sickness going on. It might do something with, I don't know. You're just, I don't know, delusional. I mean,
well, your friend is a shiny Pokemon. It's a rare. Who even knows that Craven is coming out, much less they're looking forward to it. So, I mean, I'm not gonna mince words here. I'm not gonna say like Craven is going to do well. I know that's going to bomb. However, I would say that from a trailer perspective, Craven looks better to me, more interesting to me, especially the last trailer, than this movie ever did. And I'm not a fan. But I think I liked the first one, Venom. The second one, I don't remember. I don't even think I liked it. It didn't register much with me. I think that was a Blrd podcast. I don't even remember what we gave it though. Not favorable. I can probably say that. I don't think we liked it. But yeah, this one going in, I mean, they call it The Last Dance, right? So, I mean, the implication was that this is the last movie for either the Venom character or for Tom Hardy, that he's going to be out, or they're just putting the franchise to bed, I guess. And it just occurs to me, they don't even know what the fuck. Remember the whole multiverse thing, which they address in the beginning of this movie, where he's in.
Yeah,
they don't no fucking clue what they're doing. No aimless direction. You could tell
they snip that in the bud immediately.
Immediately, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know like what. Again, and literally in this movie, null. Why is he in here? I mean, like I like that we're getting. He looked cool. He looked accurate. He's voiced by Andy Serkis. Did you see that in the credits?
Yes.
No, voiced by Andy Serkis, which was cool, really cool. But I was shocked with how little the Null does. And this is like, I met, like, obviously spoilers for everyone, but like he's in the beginning of the movie. He's sprinkled throughout in the same position, and he's in the final stinger scene, and he does not move an inch. He does not do anything other than speak a little bit and give us a little lore and background on a couple things. So he's the threat, and the main bad guy in the movie, the bad guys, is his dogs, or the freaking xenophages or
xenophages or something like that.
Yeah, they're just like, which is a cool idea. They're symbiote hunting, like attack animal things, which are in the comics, but I just never read any of that stuff. I didn't read any of the Life Foundation stuff, which Venom draws heavily from, especially this series. This movie's wild because like the beginning is interesting. Like anything with Venom on the run in the Force was cool, and then it goes into complete crazy town with characters I don't even understand why they're in there, like the family, like the Las Vegas sequence, like the scientist's backstory. Like I don't give, like I was like looking at the person I went with going like, what is happening? And I looked at it early in the theater. I was like going like, uh-oh, like what? Where are we going here? Where's Venom? What happened? We just saw Null, and
Yeah.
now I'm getting this backstory of a scientist I don't give a shit about.
Right.
And like, like, am I supposed to care? And then and in true fashion of Darkseid recently at theaters, I fell asleep. So I did
You
not
too?
see. Look, I've been working a lot lately, so yeah,
Okay.
I've
yeah.
anyways, so I did not watch the whole Las Vegas sequence, so I got to miss the one thing I was looking forward to, the Mrs. Chen dance sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed it. I was only told about it in Legend. I'm hoping you guys could fill me in on what I missed. I woke up to the final sequence starting up, like Eddie Brock had just arrived at the base, and I think that final sequence is the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah, that is
Outside of
good.
the forest attack scene, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we get some more action. But outside of that, like, and there's a little sentimentality, which we'll talk about at the end. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but the movie itself was like, it felt insignificant and irrelevant. Like, what's the point? It had no weight. Nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, I know, I guess we're of an age where maybe we're out of touch, but our kids or like younger people attached to the Tom Hardy Eddie Brock character. Like that the ending of this movie made it seem like the Paul Walker's departure at Fast and Furious, like they earned it. And I was like, what is happening here? I was just looking around, they're like montaging the third movie, and I'm like, the second movie is a total blur to me. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm old. I know I'm old.
That was one of the worst send-offs I have ever seen in my entire life. When that happened, I'm not gonna lie. The whole Eddie Brock like send off, it felt like I don't know. I feel like they didn't know how to end, and they were just like, all right, let's just throw something in. Let's have him go to the Statue of Liberty, and then just go to credits. Like at that point, we already got their money, so they've already stayed long enough. We got their money, the suckers, and we're just gonna end the movie. I felt that was one of the most lackluster, one of the most incompetent endings ever for a comic book movie. I was totally confused because when it went from him saying "I will never forget you, buddy," and then it just went to black screen, I was like, and then it started showing the credits. I literally looked over, and I was like, "Is that it?" Like,
yeah, me too.
I was like, I was insanely confused, and
I could not believe that it ended that character that way.
Yeah, it was one of the most shittiest way to end the character, and I was just like, "What? Like, doesn't even make any sense." And like, even in the sense, even with in the regards of that whole ending sequence, it was cool seeing the symbiotes fight. Like, it was cool against the xenophages. They were getting eaten, shredded up, and everything else. That was really cool.
Oh, that was cool.
That was really cool.
The blood coming out the back
of the head, yes. And
like, that was cool.
At first, I was like, "Well, they're symbiotes. Can't they just reattach back together?" But apparently, that's how they eat them. So I was like, "Okay, that's kind of cool." But like, even the ending where the general died, I was like, "Why is he?" I'm like, "Why did he just randomly die?" Like, oh, I'm getting acid on me. I need to just blow myself up. And I was like, "What?"
Well, the biggest problem with that sequence was, what the fuck is that acid thing? I've never seen this device. What is it? Like, they just introduced it in the beginning of the movie, and I was going like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't understand this acid machine. Like, why is it there?
It was completely random.
It's there. It's completely random. It's like they made up a way to a construction disposal for this movie that makes no sense. Like, it's so like, why would anyone do that?
Well, it was so stupid because it's like, okay, guys, we're decommissioning Area 51. Instead of just like taking the buildings apart, whatever, and shipping it off site,
acid machine.
Yeah, bring in the massive acid tank machine, and we're just gonna drive things into it and just melt it with, I don't know, hydrochloric acid, and voila. And they literally, like, I remember like that scene, the very beginning, they showed the general just goes up to it randomly. It doesn't they don't explain anything why he's doing it.
No,
he just goes up to it and he's like, and then it just
what kind of construction decommission where you have a general operating heavy equipment and actually doing the deconstruction of things? Like, you don't have a construction crew, you have it like, it's insane.
It's
It doesn't make any
absolutely
sense. Like, and they're like, hey, don't look at this. Yeah, it's probably nothing,
yeah,
standard acid machine,
yeah,
sequence. Yeah, go over there. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
And the thing that was stupid was like they have these two like water towers full of acid, and then like when I was watching it, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking, I'm like, where the fuck did they just have the acid eat through something and just leave it there? And then, but apparently, there's like some concrete there that's acid proof, and it gets picked up. It gets picked up. The acid just rolls off into the sides, and they just reuse the same acid over and over again. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I thought that was the most random ass sequence. Like, I've seen a lot of random ass shit in movies. This is probably one of the worst offenders of random ass sequences that needs to get that's a payoff for later. And that's what I didn't understand. I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do? And then when Venom is crawling, he grabs all. And this is another thing too. This is what perplexed people at the that had watched the movie, and with the guy that I went with, he was saying the same thing. He was like, "How was Venom like all these other symbiotes are getting eaten? These xenophages are grabbing them, they slurp them up, host and all." Host, symbiote, everything gets slurped up, turns into a soup at the back of their neck. But somehow Venom, out of all the symbiotes, who we saw, there were some badass looking symbiotes. Of all the symbiotes, he can grab all the xenophages. They were struggling with just one xenophage.
Yeah, but he's got the codex.
He had the codex, baby. Codex. Yeah, he has the codex in the back of his neck. I mean,
he also has plot armor.
Well, I mean, he has the.
I can't see it in this flawless writing in this movie. I can't. The acid machine really fucking, man. It's a science facility. You really need to create an acid machine that's like, just make a room that like.
Dude, it's standard factory.
Yeah, standard protocol.
Standard factory. Everyone, have you ever been to the back of a Walmart? They got a mini acid machine in there.
Right there.
I know.
Like, dude, like, dude, you obviously have not served any time in the military or decommissioning of buildings. You don't you don't understand. Like,
they literally have the acid silos.
Yeah, they literally have like bombers that come by, and instead of like having like a tank, especially in busy areas, they just let the acid fall from the bomber. Yeah, and then the building just one second is there.
Well, it's like, can't just fall. Remember, fucking Colin Powell has to be there to release it. Like, be some guy.
Yeah, well, it has to be. Yeah, they have to find the most difficult way to use this. Not just any guy with enough clearance. Nope. Let's. You know what? Actually, we've only allowed Colin Powell. Rest in peace, Colin Powell. Like, you gotta dig him up, and that's the only way. It's genetically designated to him and only him. It's a lost technology.
Oh, that's what you do. It doesn't make any sense.
It's so stupid, and I really like this. I'm glad this was the last dance. This needed to be the last dance, because if this is your third movie and you are coming with such shitty ass like exposition or like plot armor to move the story, this needs to be your last one. And like, Sony, wrap it up at this point. Like, you just need to wrap up Marvel movies, because you can't come up with solid. Like, we've seen the same thing happen to Amazing Spider-Man, right? Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, really good, excellent movie. Like, this was like that was Sony in their prime with Marvel. I was like, okay, this is actually has potential. And because the first one of a franchise usually, I would say, it's usually the worst one, but most times it's the worst one, and then builds and gets better over time. But then they came with Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that whole story was absolute dog shit. And only thing that kind of paid off was the end with Gwen Stacy dying. But other than that, it was shit.
They did the Sam Raimi trilogy too. So I mean, like, they need Spider-Man. The thing they're doing right now is they're trying to do Spider-Man without Spider-Man, and it don't work. Venom don't work. Morbius don't work. Madam Web don't work. And like, I know Kraven will work. I'm just fucking around.
Kraven, that's gonna be the difference.
Kraven's the one.
Yes, Kraven is the one.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to they're trying to get Spider-Man without Spider-Man. It doesn't work, and I don't know how to explain this to poor Sony executives. I think this is the last shot. I think Kraven is their last shot. I don't know though, but that is it's failure after failure after, right? None of them have been successful, right?
None of them have been like
No.
critical successes. No,
Nothing.
they've
And I
been
think,
successful as far as like Venom. I mean, I would say Venom was a success,
Venom, yeah, I'd say Venom is.
they're not ever going to reach Marvel with the way that they're going. They're more of them and DC are fighting
Mhm.
for second and third place easily. Marvel has it down packed. They won't touch Marvel. I was looking at the box office stats, even for like Captain Marvel. Captain
Mhm.
Marvel. I was thinking that Captain Marvel only made like 600 million. It made like
Mhm.
1.1, maybe 1.1, close to 1.2 billion dollars.
Oof.
Now the Marvels didn't do as high, obviously, but Captain Marvel made a ton of
Yeah, Captain
money.
Marvel did. Yeah, that
Um,
was still in the sweet spot of the pre Infinity War. So that was all swept into the hype for that conclusion, right? So
right.
anything pre that, um, whatever the second part of that is called, the Thanos saga,
Yeah.
anything within the Thanos saga is gold, right?
Yeah.
Anything, and then it's the drop off from that. You're right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
So,
going back to
that's what I'm saying.
Venom.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm saying Sony doesn't. They just don't have it. They don't have
yeah,
the formula. They don't have the writers. They don't have the talent to actually make these movies huge office success. What movies are out right now that would challenge Venom? This is a prime time for Venom to actually make money. There's nothing else out here that really is a contender for Venom at the moment. But yet Venom
because
can't.
they're also trying to make these movies. There's a way to do this that's successful. I think there is a way to do it that's successful. They're approaching it with the intention of, let's make a MCU level franchise. You're not going to do that. They should approach it as okay, Morbius. What's Morbius? He's a vampire. Make it a horror movie and revolve it
Mhm.
around like the Morbius character, and don't even think about the Spider-Man thing. Tie that in later. Just like explore that. Like they should have zeroed in on each thing, because each thing can be interesting. Even Venom has a whole bunch of like great stuff you can put in there.
Yeah,
And like I'm getting back to Venom here. Like Tom Hardy, when he was first cast as Eddie Brock, I was over the moon. I loved it. Great
Everyone was.
casting.
yeah,
And his interpretation of Venom, I hate. Now that it's over, like it's fucking garbage. He's like a bumbling Mr. Magoo type. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand the accent that Tom Hardy does. It's very far from the Eddie Brock that I know in the comics, which is fine. He's not a really deep character, but still, like this interpretation of him, I never attached to. I never liked. I didn't even like the Venom like symbiote in here. I didn't buy their relationship. I didn't get attached to it.
no,
So when the sympathetic like end sequence happened in this movie, it just felt unearned.
yeah,
I don't know if I know like I don't think the movie's doing well, but I think it did well internationally. I think,
it did.
but I think it bombed in the U.S.
It bombed in the
Um,
U.S. It right now. I'm looking at so this was his opening weekend.
mhm,
Venom overall has made 182 million. I'd say 183 million worldwide.
mhm,
124 of that coming from international, and 58, 59 coming from domestic.
mhm.
So yeah, $59 million for this movie on opening weekend is not great. This movie
No.
it was estimated to be 120 million for just domestic, and then for marketing and so forth, you usually do half of the budget. So
Mhm,
around 175 million. Let me see. Yeah, well, they said budget 120 million, so half of that 60, so 180 million. That's really rough numbers, but that's how much. So they're broke even at this point. And if it's truly the 120 million, it says
crazy.
yeah, it says if it is 120 some million for the whole thing, then this movie would be a relative success internationally. But either way, it didn't bomb to the tune of like it actually lost money, but I mean it's not that great. I mean you're on a trilogy, and I think this trilogy's made less money than the original one. So yeah, the
Yeah.
original one the box office, I think, is around 500 million. So I don't necessarily see it getting up to that point. But yeah, it's kind of sad that the third movie doesn't do well. That's really disheartening to see. But no, I agree. The family didn't make a lot of sense. It didn't feel earned whatsoever. I didn't the whole Venom. I never felt a really great vibe between Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, with the Venom character. It doesn't feel earned at all. It feels as if it was like it's supposed to pull at the heartstrings. They're not going to get this, and this is again an Infinity War, right? Where we see Robert, Downey Jr., Iron Man, Tony Stark die. That kind of pulled at the heartstrings a little bit because you've been with this character for 10 plus years, and they've actually built this character up, going from the egotistical Tony Stark to now the Iron Man who's willing to sacrifice himself for the entire universe. That was amazing. And they did a really great job with that payoff. But here it doesn't feel legit. I kind of like after Venom died, I kind of want to be like, I want to be one of those people like start clapping like in the movie theater, just be like, whoo, yeah, it's over. Like I didn't like it. I hated it. Yeah, this and the family, the whole alien thing, it just felt really unnecessary. The whole thing about the doctor, her brother dying and lightning and so forth. And now she is what's that damn symbiote's name? Shock or something.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I forgot her name.
I forgot the name.
Agony, isn't she Agony?
I forgot, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
any of them.
Yeah, it was just trash. And like her whole storyline was trash. The general like going from like I hate like these aliens, we gotta contain them to oh my god, I gotta kill them all, and then next second he's like,
why didn't he get symbioted? Because that would have been cool.
Yeah, that's why
a cool symbiote.
That would have been. See, that is the thing. If they would have had him become a symbiote and become the next bad guy for Venom,
I was sure he was good. I was sure because they showed a white one. He's going to be anti-Venom.
Anti-Venom. I promise you, I thought the same thing.
They set him up perfectly for it.
I thought the same thing.
They were like, guys, they probably wrote it in, but was like, guys, the acid machine, we need him for the. They're like, scrap it. The acid machine's more important.
Yeah.
So, ultimately, they made the right call.
Yeah, like we can actually have actually a competent story, like with a symbiote that can really give him. It could be who like because, well, no, it's Anti-Venom is the grandfather or the grandson of Venom, right? Like, so he's a son of Carnage.
Comes from
Carnage. Yeah. So that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect. That
was a cool ending, right? Like you could have had Anti-Venom and Venom fight. They set up the stakes pretty well. They set up this hatred pretty well.
Where would you fit the family into that story?
Though? Take him the fuck out.
They're key. Yeah, they're key.
They're key.
Okay. Yeah.
Please,
the family are key.
Please explain, please.
Well, they're key because they're a way for us normal people to relate to the story. Like, how would I feel if I wasn't a fan talking to it? So that way I can place myself.
Gotcha.
So I'm saying they're key. You can't remove them. If you remove them, then the movie makes no sense then.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You know what?
Yeah.
Do you want to be a writer for Sony? Because you got some
right. Like, are you looking for a job right now? Because sir, you're hired. Just right.
I don't think they want to salvage this movie. It just went everywhere. Just everywhere.
Everywhere. I really thought the father was. Yeah. Okay, and I was making a joke. I was like,
I remember. I don't know how you guys kept track of what the fuck was going on. I'll be honest. I remember pieces of what you guys are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all jumbled in my head.
It's like a lucid dream.
Like, it is, because you're right. It's like a bunch of branching stories that lead nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
like they had so many needless and pointless like side stories.
Well, the thing is with the family, it would have made sense. Here's Dark Eric. Dark Eric is about to come out. They'll die. Dark Cream when it came out, right? Everybody knows when Dark Cream comes out, it's about to get dark. I was hoping that the family gets killed. I was like, I hope the father lives. I hope the family gets killed. And then he gets so mad at like the US government for what they did. like about aliens and so forth. And he's like, holy shit, the aliens, man. And he goes actually crazy. And that's where anti-venom comes from. I was like, that would make sense. Like if the father loses his mind, seeing all these aliens, not understanding what's happening, anti-venom takes over and like pretty much takes over, like not only like, so instead of the human hosting the symbiote, is the reverse, where the symbiote is hosting the human. He's like, I'm gonna use, like he can pretend to be a human and act normal and walk around, be perfectly fine, but then anti-venom is the real him. And I was like, that like you have a mind broken scientist or mind broken father, and then anti-venom, and he uses the hatred of the father towards the US government to humanity or whatever. And then that's where the next story comes in. I was like, that would be perfect. Like if they did a serious movie. And of course I got shot down like, yo, fucking Eric, that's dark as shit. Like there's like people not really dying. Like, you know, the kids can't die. Like, they're not gonna do a movie, a Venom movie where kids are getting eaten by xenophages and shit. I'm like, fuck them kids. Let the kids get eaten. Let the mother get ripped apart by a symbiote. Let the father go into a mental relapse or a mental breakdown and freaking gets taken over by a symbiote and his life is over. I'm like, that would be awesome.
To put this in like major chain theaters, right?
Exactly. Yes. And I would drop the rating down to for just G. So everybody gets to see it. Like traumatize your kids. I really wanted that. That's why I was hoping for the family. But of course, I never get my way. I don't like. I always got to keep dark cream locked away for some reason. Ever since when Zack Snyder got taken away from us from the DCEU, dark cream can't show up anymore. So it's
that dark cream,
dark cream, baby. Casting it everywhere. But no, like, so you were asking about the Mrs. Chen part in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, I guess I was asking about it.
It was a waste of time. It was stupid.
What, the dance scene?
The dance sequence, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That was the height of my REM sleep, I believe was the
yeah. That was you were peaking deep sleep.
Oh yeah, that was good. But
that was a dumb scene. That was completely stupid. Like, why she's randomly in Vegas and you randomly.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. How does he meet Miss Chen? Like, she's just there.
Green Tuna, you remember, or do you mean?
Which one?
When how did Venom find?
Green Tuna doesn't even know where he is. Right?
Yeah, he doesn't know where he's at right now.
I'm so lost, dude. I'm trying to remember everything you guys are saying. That's what my fuck. I know he danced with the Mrs. Whatever, right?
Right. Yeah. But how did they meet? Do you remember how they met?
At the casino?
Yeah.
I don't know. They bumped into each other.
Okay, so yeah, he's gone, guys. No, he's right. That's literally what happened. Venom's at the table at the slots, just wasting blew $100, and then
no, I remember.
He looks like over and like literally like 5 machines over. You see Mrs. Chen, she just hit like a jackpot, and he's like, "What, Mrs. Chen?" Like they just start pointing at each other, and they're like, "Eddie." And then she's like, "Hey, I got a penthouse suite at the like Bellagio or something like that. Come upstairs with me." And they just go upstairs, and then she's like, "Is everything okay? Is he with you?" And Venom's all happy, and then she's like, "Let's do it. Let's dance, Eddie." He's like, "I can't do it because if I dance, the xenophage is gonna find us. I don't think that's a great idea." And Venom, of course, is like, that'll be fine. It's so far away. Nothing will happen. And of course, the xenophage can literally can travel state to state within a matter of seconds. Okay. So that's literally what happened. And then boom, xenophage finds him.
Okay, I didn't realize this, but yeah, oh my god, yeah, because I remember the trailer. He's full on Venom dancing with her.
Yes,
and he's so. In order to do that, he would have like been trackable by the. So their explanation was that like this is the writer who brought in Acid Machine was like, we really need the dance sequence, but it doesn't make any sense.
Well, what's Dark Side? Can you please tell me what the movie title is?
That's true. I apologize. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Checkmate.
I rescind it all.
Right. This is a
Yeah.
brilliant
I'll
movie.
check
You know, you always
I'll
have to
check
be
this-
literal to your titles, all right? Just like
Yeah,
The
sure.
Godfather. It's just
Sure.
about a guy that's a Godfather.
Godfather.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the movie
Or like
cannot be a
Raging
movie.
Bull. It's about a bull that's really
It's
angry.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
all these
or
movies are very
Cocaine Bear. It's a bear on
Mhm.
cocaine.
This is writing 101, I believe, is what they teach you.
Yes.
They just go through literal titles.
Literal
Batman.
yeah.
I feel
They
like
go-
No allegories.
I feel like when they made this movie, they worked backwards. They're like, all right, what's the title of the movie? They're like, I don't know. And I think they just did a random word generator. Came out The Last Dance. They're like, okay, we need him to dance. How do we go from there? They're like, okay, team, let's work backwards. And they just came out with the whole storyboard by working backwards from dancing. Because that's the only way this shit makes sense. Because the whole multiverse thing doesn't make sense. How the fuck is he going from different timelines randomly? It's just yanking him into a different timeline. That doesn't make any sense.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, bitch. Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange?
Just like he did with Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, what do you
so
say
okay.
about that? What do you say
Okay.
about that?
Oh, that did he say anything about Doctor Strange?
No, but it's implied from the last
Yeah,
Spider-Man
man.
movie.
Yeah,
Right.
from the last Spider-Man movie, but they didn't explain
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. That's the stupid part about this. Like, if you were like
it's called subtlety. You know, they can't spell everything out for you.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can't. They can't do the Last Dance.
Mm.
Like, I was hoping that Tom Hardy at the end.
It was the last dance. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I finally got it, guys.
You know, some stupid
get it.
executive watched the movie. Is like, why isn't there a dance in
Yeah.
the title? Is like, fucking, now we gotta shoot a dancing scene.
And then,
You know, the funny thing is,
like the pitch is like, and that's why they call it the last dance. So Mingeki was like,
oh shit. They're like, give that man a fucking raise. That man ain't getting a promotion. Like, holy.
Yeah.
Like, the funny thing is like, I literally call this episode, I call it The Last Stand, because I could not visualize calling it The Last Dance, because it's just like, what the this movie was just horrible. This was a horrible movie. Very loose. So did you guys see both of the end credit scenes?
I just saw the one where the guy looks up.
No.
Yeah.
That's scene one, and it's like,
Yeah.
good job, my daughters, or whatever. And then he just,
I will come to kill your world, or whatever.
yeah. I am the eater of worlds. Like, okay, fucking
With sweet PlayStation 2 graphics. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. The second one was the bartender from the very beginning. He comes out of the cave, and then he's like, he's like, hola, hello, anybody can hear me? And then he goes by where you see a broken vial that looks like it was a vial that contained the symbiote. We don't know. I don't know which one. People say it was a part of the electric symbiote. I don't know.
Why would that?
I thought
Why
was-
would
I
the
thought was-
messenger be in Las Vegas from like Mexico?
Remember, they kidnapped him.
Oh right.
Yeah, they
I
kidnapped.
was just about to ask the same thing. I'm like, how did he get there?
Yeah, they kidnapped him because they were like.
I forgot about it.
So
Yeah,
I think some people say
You remember too much of this movie.
Well, I just
Yeah.
watched it yesterday, so I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was Venom. I think that the little piece of symbiote that they took from the coin. Remember, he was about to touch the coin, the bartender. I
Okay.
think
Yeah,
that was the vial that had Venom in it. And when you see a cockroach starts to crawl up to the vial, and then it goes black. So I'm assuming what they're trying to apply is that the symbiote that was in the vial gets out, infects the cockroach, and then
that is how Venom lives on.
Yeah, it's how Venom lives on. So now Tom Hardy, he just has to find Tom Hardy again, and then boom, he's Venom again.
Well, I mean, speaking of like how they could continue it, I hope they don't go the Tom Hardy route, but like there is, if they're gonna do Null in the comic books, Eddie Brock has a kid, and that kid is a big part of Null. Like the kid, I guess Eddie Brock's DNA has been altered because of his exposure to. So his son obviously has some kind of connection to the symbiote. So you could give it time and do Dylan Brock, or they could do Agent Venom with I think it was Flash Thompson was Agent Venom, but that's a really cool take. Give Venom to a full on Black Ops Marine, and like send him on missions around the world. That would be cool because that's a cool use of the symbiote.
Mhm.
And you could then reintroduce Null. Then you could reintroduce like the Dylan or Eddie Brock if you want to.
Right.
But that would all be canonical. So I hope that they step away from this, especially this Eddie Brock, which I cannot connect to this man. He's too goofy, and go in a
It
different
ain't
direction.
happening.
It's not that.
This is the last Venom thing we're gonna see for a little bit at least.
Well, you think this is the Eddie Brock?
I guess.
Yeah.
This
I mean, his name is.
It's
the
pretty final, and like they're not gonna get time. I mean, it might be like straight to streaming, maybe. That's the only next thing I can think of when it comes to Venom.
No,
I don't think they're gonna.
Cash cow. This is their cash cow.
I mean, they're literally just rolling in dough right now from Venom.
I could easily see the next movie being Agent Venom. Like, just you could do like the visuals are fine. Like the symbiotes were cool, kind of cool looking in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's ways you could still do a decent.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna really fight on that one, but
yeah, it's just. I mean, it's generic.
Carnage.
Here's the thing: it's on par with the latest Marvel CG. I'll say that.
CG, yeah.
It's on par with the latest Marvel CG.
Gotcha. I could agree to that. Like, I mean, but okay, so Null himself, I don't know what their plans are. Kind of sucks that Sony has access to Null and the MCU does not, because Null is a like Thanos level bad guy that can wipe the floor with the Avengers and the X-Men. And it is a cool story how like how he gets beat. So I don't know what the plan is.
Don't worry, man. We got Doctor Doom still. All right.
Oh yeah. I mean,
fourth time's the charm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we got we got the man himself. We got RDJ. So I mean, if he's part of it, can it really go wrong? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
But you remember back in the day, remember when people were shitting on Civil War when it first came out? Like people were saying like, was it Civil War or was it Iron Man? No, I think it was Civil War.
Civil War, it was loved by everyone.
I don't think initially.
Yeah, everyone likes Civil War.
I don't think. I think there were some
way.
critics that were really kind of harsh on it.
No way. Find me the critics. Remember that was the movie with the Spider-Man reveal trailer. The hype level for that movie was insane.
Or maybe I'm thinking something.
Maybe you think of another one.
Yeah, you're thinking about something else. You're thinking about Iron Man 3, which
maybe Iron Man 3. Maybe Iron Man 3.
I love
holy shit.
Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2 was hated too.
Iron Man 2 was kind of
Iron Man 2 is a piece of shit because it's bad. Iron Man 2 is really bad.
Well, that's
Iron Man
not
2 was a placeholder.
Well, I mean there's reason. Well, there's been assumptions and reasons why Iron Man 2 was bad, but I mean shit. I'd rather have an Iron Man 2 any day over another Venom movie. I'm not gonna lie. This was This is probably one of the worst Marvel movies out. Like Sony Marvel movies, hands down, outside, and we're not talking about the Raimi, Sam Raimi, Spider-Man, but all the recent Sony Marvel movies,
Sony's verse movies.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the rung for sure.
I don't think this is the worst. I don't even think this is the worst Venom movie. I think the second one was.
Second one was worse. I think it was worse.
Yeah, it was worse, right?
Yeah.
Not as good as the first, but the first one's still the best one, I think, in my opinion.
I would say it'd be 1, 3, and 2, honestly.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 2, the hype for that, it was just too corny. And I still hate off of the teaser trailer off of the first movie where, you have, what's his name? What's that? Not? I want to say Cassius Clay. That's not right. Is that right?
Cassius Clay.
No, Cassius.
Muhammad Ali.
No, freaking. What is Carnage's host name? What's the serial killer's name?
I mean, he did fight Superman once.
Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy. Cletus Cassidy. There you go. Jeez.
Cletus Cassidy. Okay.
Yeah. I like when
he was the stinger in the first movie,
one.
Right?
He's like, Eddie, there's going to be carnage. And I was like, carnage. Oh god,
that was Acid Machine Rider too. That was his prime.
Yeah,
that was pure Acid Machine magic.
Yeah, no, that's Acid Machine. He was actually on acid at that time, And
Yeah.
Well,
he
where
was
do you
like,
think you got the inspiration for the acid
Yeah.
machine?
What do you
yeah,
think? Magic
exactly.
happens on its own? Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
right. Yeah, no, this movie I definitely will say is the middle of the two, middle of the three, but unfortunately it's still, I think, yeah, the first one was leagues better than the second one. So while the second one or the third one had really cool fight scenes, yeah, it was just a discombobulated story. The story wasn't great. I just feel like they didn't know what they were doing. I feel like they had like a lot of cool mini ideas and they were like, hey, fuck it, let's put it all together. And the audience is stupid. They won't figure it out. And I think that's kind of the case.
Oh shit. Okay.
So, uh, yeah, I don't have much more to say about this damn show. This
Yeah,
is,
neither do I.
This movie.
It's just meh, confusing.
yeah, yeah, it's confusing, mediocre. If I had to assign blurs to it, I would give it a solid.
Oh, we have to, yeah.
I would give it a solid
Uh,
4.5.
Ah, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I'll give it a 4.
I'm actually looking up my letterbox to see what I gave the Venom, the last Let There Be Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
gave it 1 out of 5 stars. It was that bad.
There you go.
Shit.
And so this one it was slightly better. So what is that converted over? Three stars? I'll 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 blurs here.
They were pretty close altogether.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
4,
Yeah.
4 and a
when the
half.
future, I think we need to do. We need to probably use like Letterbox or something like that to base our scores. Because one thing is that, I mean, the era of where Let There Be Carnage to now, as far
Mhm.
as the movies around it and kind of like the fatigue that we've faced, I
Mhm.
think does play into the score a little bit. I think if this had came out before Let There Be Carnage, or if this had came out maybe during like the peak of Marvel, I probably would
Yeah.
have given this a better score. I probably
This
been
would
like,
fare better, yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. I think we're honestly we're just getting worn down. I think we're getting worn down from just bad comic book movies. Like I think they're kind of I think these studios are thinking that we're just stupid at this point. They're like, oh, we could do whatever and we can just throw whatever and people will go and see it. I hope they're getting the message that this is not Thanos saga type of hype
Mhm.
anymore. Like you have to produce something good for us to actually go see it. And that's why
Well,
I'm
we're
kind
we're in a I was gonna say we're in a lull right now with comic book movies and ideas. Like this is the slow time, and then it kicks up again next year. We'll get the new Superman, and we'll get what was it, Captain America, and we'll get not Suicide Squad. What are they called? Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
Um, so I mean, it's stacked again, and it's gonna start moving. Then we build up to like we said, RDJ is Doctor Doom. So we're in the lull right now. So let's hope that it's audiences are not happy with the quality and
Mhm.
good quality will bring people back. But if it's just general fatigue, which also could be the case, I mean, I was thinking about it. It's hard to top where we've been already, like Thanos and everything. It's hard to raise the stakes and make people care again. So, I mean, I'm not optimistic about the future DC universe. I'm not optimistic about Secret War. I think they're going to disappoint. I think there's no way they are successful. And when I say successful, I mean $1 billion returns is not. I don't think
Mm.
that's unrealistic anymore. But I don't know what the future lies. All I know is our podcast is entangled with the bubble bursting, um, and then we become some kind of other hobby podcast, which we're open to ideas. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens here. I
Yeah,
like knitting. We could do a knitting podcast if that happens.
I would love that.
Um, yeah. So I'm saying, anything but sneakers, really, frankly, honestly.
Yeah,
So
and this is probably gonna be the last episode of the Blur podcast. So I
yeah,
mean,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
it was nice seeing
Mm-hmm.
you
Probably.
guys as we uh for as many I mean I guess this is our like a third year or going on our third year. I mean it's great, while it lasted, but yeah. I mean
Yeah.
I personally would like a sneaker
Hey, we
podcast.
got Only Toes in the chat room.
Oh, what's up, Ellen Tells? Oh, he did bring up
Mhm.
Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fantastic Four also coming out. Sure.
yeah.
So
So
Yeah, but we've
I
already
mean,
been like burned by Fantastic Four. I
yeah,
really,
but
really, really hope this is.
this is the one done by the people who know what it is and care about it, not done by like people who like are just throwing it out there. I think, I have hope. But if this don't work, then nothing's gonna work. You know what I
Nothing
mean?
will
This
work,
is
right?
it.
If
There's no
this
one else.
fails, it's like there's no hope for a Fantastic
Yeah, this
Four
is
in
in
the
the
near
hands
future.
the
Yeah.
hands
for the
of the
near
quote
future.
unquote master. You know what I mean? So if Kevin can't make it work,
Yeah, because
then nobody's.
Kevin Feige at Marvel, made by Marvel, not by Fox.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Can't ask for a better recipe.
Well, we had the original Fantastic Four that was pretty good. Then we had the Fox one, which we saw we didn't get any more of those, and then now if Kevin Feige can't do it, then it probably just can't be done for quite a while.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about X-Men, and I'm optimistic about Fantastic Four. I'm just not optimistic about the rest of the MCU at this point because I just don't see anything else of value in there.
Right.
But like I said, I'm very excited about Fantastic Four and X-Men because that is something that's been untouched by the MCU's like repeat and rinse and like their formula. You know what I mean? So theoretically, they could just fall into the same category. Probably will, like likelihood. But the new idea that these bring could be an injection into the MCU. So, but I don't think there's any hope for Sony's universe. I think this is as good as it gets. So,
hey, you get what we're getting what we can get at the moment. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what our boy Aaron Taylor Johnson does with Craven the Hunter. I can't even do it. Craven. Craven the Hunter. So we'll see what they do with Craven. Not hopeful whatsoever, but hey, they. I mean, how can they do any worse than Madam Web? I don't think so.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
All right.
You think they can do worse than Madam Web?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm not saying, man. I'm not saying that Craven is gonna be worse than Madam Web, but I think you can do worse than Madam.
Just for comparison's sake.
Yes, you could. I guess
Madam Web had grossed worldwide $100 million. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Madam Web cost. How much did it cost to make? $80 million.
300.
$80 million.
Oh, they didn't even make their money back.
But some say
you gotta factor in advertising and shit.
But they said that the movie, some people inside the studio, some sources say it costs over 115 million. So if it's 115 million, then they lost money. So I mean, like Craven just needs to do the bare minimum and just be even.
So we're talking like box office numbers. Yeah, I guess Craven will have more notoriety, right? More name recognition than Madam Web, maybe.
No.
Yeah, I mean, also,
I was hoping for something. That's why I'm like, damn.
The only person that really drew that movie in was Sydney Sweeney. I don't know if she has enough star power to make that work. Obviously, she didn't. And if it might be fair, her star power might have brought in $80 million of that 100 million. We don't know. We'll find out when Craven comes out. But yeah, I have zero hope for Craven. I'm gonna be honest with you. We have the Ed Underground joining us. Yeah, exactly. I don't know who that is, but he says,
"Oh, it's a cheddar." Okay.
He said Green Tuner is right. Absolutely, yes. I think he was in reference to you saying that there can be something worse than that.
No. That is not what he typed. That's sick son of a bitch typed something else.
He said Green Tuner is tight. Absolutely, yes.
You sick bastard.
Oh, he's saying you're tight. Oh, okay. That's
we'll
save that. We'll save that for the next segment. All right. Well, you guys, all right, we did our blurry, so do you have anything else you guys want to add on the topic?
Don't watch this movie. Sure. Yeah,
don't watch this movie. Save it.
Don't watch
if you do watch the movie, bring tissues for the end because it'll get you.
I thought it was like
it's so touching, like the last scene of Fast and the Furious when Paul Walker and Vin Diesel drive. Saying it hit me the same way.
It does hit you pretty hard. So
yeah.
All right. Well,
I was like, oh no, Venom. They're recapping what I just saw in the last 20 minutes. Oh, so sad.
Oh man.
Remember the family? Remember that?
Yeah, remember 20 minutes ago? Yeah. Oh, the memory.
You know what? That was helpful to me because I slept through some of those scenes. So I was like, wait.
Maybe
Oh
that's why they
man.
did it for people that would fall asleep in the theater. That's why they
Yeah, yeah, it
recap
was a good
not
wrap
The
up.
the
family.
entirety of the
Yeah,
Venom
yeah,
series, but
yeah.
mainly just the movie, just as a recap. Oh,
Just for
Right.
me and like for other people, I was like, you know
that's
what?
good
They
foresight.
did have some good times. They did. Yeah.
Mm,
All right.
Poor Venom never got to see the Statue of Liberty. That's even more
Never
fucked
did.
up.
Oh no, he did. He did
mm.
see he saw a
Did
version of it, but didn't see the actual Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah. Sad.
So yeah.
Oh well.
Yep. That's it. All right,
All
folks.
right.
All right, you guys. We have nothing else to
Learn you
say.
later. Nope.
Yeah, catch us.
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick pause and we'll be back for the Blurred Extra. So stick around for that. If you can't stick around for that, as always, you can catch us live every Wednesday at twitch.tv/the Blurred Podcast and on all major podcasting platforms. You can also watch us if you can't watch us live and you don't want to listen just to audio, you can catch our YouTube as well at youtube.com/the Blurred Podcast as well, where we upload all of our podcast episodes onto our channel. All right,
Well,
until next time, you guys, unless you're joining us for the extra, blur you later.
learn you later.
Blur you later.